Okay, so this is the stuff you will need to do this project and most leather crafting projects. Hole punch, die set. This is for rivets and grommets. This is a grommet punch or rivet punch. And then these are the grommets that you'll be using for the belt holes. If you want to do that, you don't have to. I just think it looks cooler. These are the rivets, front and the back. I am using 8mm rivets with the 8mm attachment for the rivets. This is a leather burnisher for when you finish. These are the buckles. I linked everything in the description. These are 1-inch buckles. And you'll need O-rings. I also linked these below. And it's the same brand as the buckles, which is Country Brook, which is for dog stuff. But I mean, they sell it in bulk. They're really good and it's a good price. I like to use anything like chalk related on leather because it shows up so well. It's so easy to use and it's very cheap. Like these are my favorite to use. It's a chalk writer. You get it at the Dollar Tree or at the Family Dollar for $1.25. Looks like this. And I have a white one too, but that ran out. Pink shows up fine, chalk shows up fine. You could also use an X-Acto knife, but it's got to be really sharp. You could use a sharp box cutter or one of these. Here are the chains that I use. It's a Cuban chain. I will link that too. These two tools I use to open the chain link with and close it with. It's a bit of a pain in the ass sometimes, but these really help. And the last thing you'll need, obviously, is leather and scissors. These scissors are not great. My good scissors, I still have to get out of a box. So before you commit to anything with how long or short you want it, just make sure that you do one test strip to see how far apart you want the O-rings and how they sit between the leather, and make sure, sorry for the close-up there, make sure it overlaps enough to where if you punch a hole right here, it will go through both this piece, that piece, and this front piece, and it will all be flush. And you could always use the guidelines on your cutting board, which I forgot to mention that you would also need, but I will link it below. You could use this guideline. Make sure these two, like the corner, this part matches up, and that, and then just follow the line. So you just follow this line up to the top, put your ruler there, and then trace that way. These are definitely worth getting, for sure. That's the break. To make sure it fits great. Okay, I don't know how many things of these I need. Of course, it depends on your size, how many O-ring, chain links, whatever the fuck you want to call it, that you will need. So you make sure that it is how you want it to be. O-ring on both sides. The way I did that obviously was here and there, and just make sure it overlaps here, like I said, enough for you to have a hole punched through all 3 pieces of leather. And then you get your hole punch. So you get your rivet and your hole punch, and you see which setting actually fits into the rivet that you don't have to force it in, and that's the one that I will use for these rivets. And you just select it to where you punch it down. First you want to make the hole, and then you press the rivet in. So you just put it to where everything would be centered. The hole would be centered so that the rivet looks good where it sits. I feel like this usually lines up with where the rivet would be. So just press it. I usually twist it around just to make sure that the puncture is complete. You want to put the top on top and through to the bottom, and then you put the cap. It should snap into place. It doesn't make a sound, but it's, you know, it's on there. Here's the rivet press. Make sure it lines up with where the divot is in the rivet press. And so there it is, nice and clean. So I have done the same of what I showed you. Just used my waist as a guide, and I like to wear my belt a little lower, so it's basically my hips. I got big old hips. I got a pretty long one. I just kind of eyeballed it because, I mean, it's better to have more than not enough. So you're basically going to do the same thing as before, except you don't have to worry about 3 pieces of leather. Just give yourself enough room to still be able to use the press. Okay, so for the belt part, I used the die set that is for hole punching for these specific grommets, which looks like this. It's the same deal. You just choose where you want your holes, and then you push down on this until you hear a pop, and it makes holes for you. After that, what you want to do is get the thicker side of the grommet. So this side, and then push it through here. Make sure it shows on the other side too. And you want to put that in facing this way. And then you get one of the flat pieces and you put it on top. And you press down. There you go. That's how it looks. That's what you should do for the belt loops. So for the buckle part, you want to get the last O-ring, fold the leather over, do the same as before, punch a hole, make sure you're on the right setting, punch the hole so that you have enough room for the rivet. Put the cap on. Press it down. It's a little off center. It's alright. And you want to make sure that the belt is, or the buckle is the right direction, so just put it through one of the holes. You want to put it through and over. Like that. Then you want to do the same thing. Punch a hole. Press it down. There you go. Your buckle's on. Your belt is made. If you want to see how to put chains on, let me know.